Good evening, everyone. My name is Rahul Somani. A quick introduction about myself. I am an MCA, Masters in Computer Application, and an ex-Compicom employee. And I have been a trainer for around 8 years on web technologies. In Python, I'm a Python developer as well as a trainer and a Flutter developer. So today we'll see some of the things which we did not cover in the last session, string indexing. So let's now go back directly to the code. Today we'll cover some of the topics like creating string, which we have already done. So this will just take a couple of moments for all of you to grasp or revise. So how to create a string, you specify the name of a variable, and after that you specify the name of the string, the value of the string enclosed within double quotes or single quotes. And if you use the print function and supplying the name of the variable, so whatever this variable contains the value, it will print the value, and in this case it will print Rahul. So if I run this program quickly, so, so you can see Rahul is printed, right? There's another way to create a string, and that is from a string class. Str is a class which we'll cover later on when we'll come to object-oriented programming in Python. So for now, let's suppose this is a variable called create from class, and we are using a class, and within this class we are supplying the value of the string which we want to create. So in this case, it will create a string called hello, and this hello will be stored in create from class. And if now if we print this one, create from class, what will be the answer? The answer will be whatever value it has right now, and in this case it has hello. It has printed hello, right? I hope you are all able to see my screen. Now coming to the second part, that's concatenation. What does concatenation mean? Adding two or more multiple strings is concatenation. So there are a couple of different ways of concatenating or adding two or more strings. So we'll cover the first right now. So I'll uncomment this. For the sake of convenience to of all of you, I've already created this code. I've already coded it, and now I'm trying to explain each and every line of code. So we have created three variables called first string, second string, and third string having some values 1, 2, and 3. So we can print if you want to concatenate all these values. So we can use the plus operator called the arithmetic operator, and this will give us the content of first string plus the content of second string added to the content of third string, right? So 1, 2, and 3. If you want some space, so either we can do this way, it has, or either we can add an extra space here. So this will also give us the same result, 1, 2, and 3. Coming back to the same question, we can also add two strings which are essentially string literals. They are string constants. Here this Rahul and Somani is not stored in any variable. So this is known as a string literal. So we can concatenate two or more string literals by just supplying the string without any arithmetic operator. So in this case, Rahul Somani has been printed, right? If I want some space between this, Rahul and Somani, we can add an extra space here, and in this way we got this desired result, right? Again, I'll comment this. So now my question is, now I have created a variable first name and last name and stored some string values. Now, will this same approach work as in the previous case where we were using this string literal? No, because see, this has given us an error, and if I try to run this program, what will happen? It will throw us an error, invalid syntax. So I mean to say that we can only use this operation when we are using string literals. We cannot use this operation while using a variable, a string variable. The second way of concatenating two or more strings is using the %s. So if you are aware with the C language, this is called the format specifier, where means the format and s means which format. So s is for string, right? So now again, let us create three variables called first string, second string, and third string, having some value 1, 2, and 3. And now we are trying to concatenate these three values. So how would we do that? We'll supply, because we want to add three strings, right? So we'll supply 3%s, three format specifiers enclosed within single or double quotes, with followed by a percent sign and then followed by a parenthesis, and supplying the name of the variables which you want to concatenate. So for this first format specifier, the first string value gets, for the second format specifier, you get the second string value, and like on. So now let's see what is the output of this program. 1, 2, and 3. Exactly. See, so this is the second way of adding two or more strings using the %s specifier. The third way also, I'll comment this one. The third way, using the format function. I'm using the same example, guys. Sorry. Okay. So now, the format specifier, this is a set of curly braces is known as placeholder. And placeholder for what? For values, right? So I'm specifying three placeholders along with the dot operator, and as soon as you use the dot operator, you can get a series of methods, because string is a class essentially. So you are invoking a method on an object of string. So format, and within this format specifier, you are supplying three values which you want to concatenate: the first string, second string, and third string in this case. Now let's see what does this gives us an output. It also gave us the same output. So this is the third way how you can concatenate strings. The fourth way is using the join method, and it is pretty, very important method. So I'll again comment this one. How does this join method works? The join method works, it takes a set of parameters, and the set of parameters, if you are supplying only one parameter, so you don't have to supply this square bracket. But if you are supplying multiple parameters, so you have to enclose this within the square bracket, which will later know as list. So I want to concatenate this first string, second string, and third string. So I am using this single quotes, a space, dot join operator. Now let's see what happens. Does this give us the same output? Yes, it also gave us the same output, right? So, but to be able to better understand this, suppose I we add a hash symbol here, and the rest of the things are all the same. So, if you run this program, you can now see it took the first string, the value of the first string is 1 1 here, and then it appended hash or concatenated hash right here, and then it took the value of the second string, this is which is 2, and it concatenated 2 here, and it then took the value of the third string, and it then took hash, concatenated here, and then it took the value of the third string and concatenated this. So we got this output. So you can use the join method in a different variety of ways, whatever you like. I hope this is clear, guys. You can send all your questions, which I'll answer after 35 minutes. After the session is complete, I will take 5 minutes for the question and answer series. Can we also multiply? Can we also apply multiplication on strings? This is a question mark. I want, my name is Rahul and I want to multiply Rahul by 2. What does this output gives? Does this make sense? So let us see. Create a variable called myString. There's Python inside it. Modified string is so modified string has a value of myString into 2. I don't know why it is giving an error. Okay, that's why, right? So I'll comment this one. I'll also comment this one. And now let us see whether it throws us an error, it gives us an error or not. It did not. What it did was, it actually internally it added my string to my string. And this is how multiplication works, right? It adds. So I am trying to multiply the value of my string 2 times. So I want actually Python to be printed 2 times or appended 2 times. So this has gone into the variable called modified string, and now when I am trying to print the content of my modified string, it is Python 2 times. Comment this one, uncomment this one. What do you think will be the output? The output will be, it will multiply 3 into 2, 6. So I hope that this will give us Python 6 times. As you can see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 times, right? Now I am trying to multiply the value of my string with 2, and then again using the multiplication operator and adding and multiplying it with 3, and then adding a plus operator, arithmetic operator, and then concatenating 4. This is essentially this is not a number, this is not an int, this is a string value because it is enclosed within single quote, right? So what will be the output? 4 will be appended at the last, right? It multiplied Python, the value of my string 2 times, Python, and then appended 4, right? Now let's come to the other topic called formatting. We can format our code, the print statement, the print function in a variety of ways. So the first example is this one. there's a variable called income, and it has a floating value, right? Floating value, right? So income is an object of type float, and float is a class. So if I just want this integer part, how would I do it? I can use a function, inbuilt function called round, and within this round I can pass this parameter called income, and whatever the value of income is, it will convert it into an int. Eight three four five. But see, the value was 8345.6, but it rounded up to the nearest value. It was 8346. So this is just a mathematical problem which I know that you must be aware of. How does a round function works? Now let's see what does this print statement means. I'm using this f string. F is when you prefix anything by f, when you prefix a string using this f. So this is essentially becomes a f. This is called a f string, and within this f string I am using this curly braces. This is also known as a placeholder, right? And I am trying to get the value of income close to 3 decimal places. So we can better understand if we run the program. So see it, we supplied dot 3f. This f is very important here. This f is very important here. If you omit it, you will get a different output. And I am trying to only get 3 values after the decimal part. So, and it gave me only 3 values after the decimal part, right? What will happen when I do the same? I am not providing a dot operator here right now. I'm not providing a dot operator here. I'm just providing a positive value 57 and f. What will happen? Will it throw an error? Let us see. It what it did was it included 57 spaces in the beginning, right? So this is very interesting, isn't it? We can also use the format method or format function the same way. Here I'm using this placeholder and a colon. This colon is very important, right? But while using this format method, we don't need to specify the variable name here as we did it in this f string. So we don't need to specify the variable name here. It will also exactly do the same thing. It has now given us 2 decimal places only. So this is how we can format our strings or anything using this format specifier or the f string. Let's just take another example. Salary. My salary is 27,856.36786. Now I'm using this f string, and because I'm using a f string, I have to supply the name of the variable, right? And within this placeholder, and I'm using dot 4f. It has given me this value. So guys, you please note down this one, because I will be asking questions on this in the next session, or because I have not created a quiz session today. So in the next session, I will ask you a question why this happened, although I provided this, right? If I provide, for example, 2 here, and then see, it is working, right? But I'm giving 4. So it should ideally give me I hope you are understanding this. I will ask a question on this. Now, many times we come across using separators while we are working with currencies. So this is a separate section called separators. For large numbers, we often use separators like comma or underscore. This is not required actually. This is not required. So how would we do this, right? Suppose there's a value called a which has some integer value. Now I'm using this f string, and because I'm using this f string, I don't have to repeat it again. I have to supply the variable name along with a colon, and the first parameter is what type of separator you want to use. Either you want to use this comma or this hyphen. So I'm using for the first I'm using this comma, and for the second I'm using this hyphen. It is giving me this value, right? Good. So what do you think now will be this output? Same. I hope you understood this. Many a times you will also want to find the length of the string you are working with. So there's an inbuilt function called length, and if you are familiar with C, you can easily write your own function which can return you the length of the string. So my name is Rahul. There's a variable my name is Rahul. This is camel case notation, and this is the inbuilt length function which takes a single parameter, an object, and the object in this case is a string. So what it will do is that it will return us the length of the string Rahul, and in this case it is 5. There are 5 characters, 1 2 3 4 and 5, right? So it gives 5. We can also do some operations like -1. So 4 into 8, 40. In the last session, I came across some questions, and I figured it out that someone has some problems with indexing. How does a negative indexing works, or is it possible? So quickly I'll show you one slide. String indexing. Normally, in every other language, the string indexing starts from the string indexing starts from 0 on the left hand side and goes on and gets incremented 1 each and every time. So hello has 5 characters in it. So the first index is 0, the second index is 1, and the last index is 5. But Python also gave us a feature where we can use negative indexing. So when we do it from the right hand side. So the right hand side is -1. It cannot be -0, right? Because there is no -0, right? So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and -6. Now let's again go back to our code. My string, the value is second, and I am printing. This is called indexing, subscript notation, where you are using the square bracket, and within the square bracket you are providing an integer value, and that is called the index. So essentially what you want is you want to access the value of this my string at index 0. So what is the value at index 0? This is s. So it will give us, the first print statement will give us the value of s. We could also use a negative index, right, as I showed you in the slide. So minus 6, minus 1, the minus 1, the index is minus 1 is from the right hand side, and if you start calculating towards the left hand side, so you'll get again minus 6 as the index s, the value, and minus 1 is this one. So for the first we got s, right? For the second also we got minus 6 refers to this section, this index, and minus 1 got us d. I'm sorry for my voice, boys, participants. I'm very sorry because a marriage function is going just beside my house, so that is why my voice is very low. I'm very sorry for that. Coming to slicing, what is slicing? You have, I hope everyone has sliced something or the other. Cucumbers, cakes, right? Pancakes. So slicing is also is the same. You want a bit of pieces, a chunk of pieces from your string, a chunk of pieces, I mean to say more than one characters. When you want more than one characters from your string, that's known as slicing. So oh, my string, okay. The length of my string is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I hope that I don't need to run this program to figure it out what is the length of the string. Anyhow, then also I will run the program and it gave us 6. The first print statement gave us the length of the string, which is 6. Now, the second print statement, this is called the slice notation, where you are using this colon. So essentially what you are trying to do is you are starting from the 0th index and you are trying to go to the 4th index, but it won't include the 4th index. It will just slice your string till the 3rd index. So in this case you'll get SEC. Let's see, SECO, 0, 1, 2 and 3. I hope you understood this concept, right? What will this print statement give me? I'm trying from 0th index till the 6th index. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But there is no 6th index, but it won't complain. It will go till the entire length of the string. It won't give us an error. It did not give us an error. No matter what value you supply, it gives us the same, the entire string, right? Now all these um, these are all optionals, the start position, the starting index, the ending index, these are all optionals. I want to show you again. Print my string. Optional means I can omit the first part, right? The first part, and I just want to go till the third part. So it will by default start from the 0th index, 0, 1, 2. So SEC, it gave us 3 characters because we specified, right? And what do you think will this give us? I am trying to print the content of I am trying to slice my string starting from the 0th position, which I can omit always, right? And till the length of my string. What is the length of my string? It is 6 in this case. So it will give us the entire string, right? Second. So this is also a different way of slicing, because you are using a length function, inbuilt function here, right? You're not specifying a value here, you are using a function here. There is also a variation in slicing, whereby you can specify the starting index position, the ending index position, and the number of steps. So what do I mean by the number of steps? This this is the same string, my string, starting from the first 0th index till the 4th index. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I am giving a step of 1. It will increment every one character, right? So by default, if you don't specify it also, it by default the value is 1 itself. So let's try to print the content. It gave us seco, right? Seco. So it started from the 0th index, 0, 1, 2, 3, because it won't go to the upper limit, right? And it is incrementing every time, it is incrementing one character, one, right? It is iterating one step at a time. Now if you want to iterate 2 steps at a time, what will you do? You can just play around with this. In this case, I have supplied 2. I'll clear the screen, and if you guys are following and typing as well, then you can better understand. SC, and how did this happen? It started from the 0th index, it gave us the output S, the first, and it has to go till the 4th index, means the 3rd index, literally 0, 1, 2, 3, and each time it is iterating 2 characters, right? So the first one is S, the second one is C, and it ended here, 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So it ended here, S and C. It gave us just S and C. You just play around, because I'll be asking questions on this also, and it is not tough. It's pretty easy if you play around with this. Okay. What will happen if I guys, one thing I like to mention, I'll upload all this code on GitHub, and then you can find all this code on GitHub as well, so the rest of the code you'll play around with, and then on the next session, upcoming session, we'll try to do a bit of quiz, and where I'll be asking you questions and you'll be answering. So this is all for the session right now, and now I'm ready for the question and answer sessions. There's a request from Vaishnavi Gayatri to repeat the, okay, that problem. Separators. Gayatri, I'm specifying you because you asked this question, right? So there's a value, there's a variable A. For now, you consider this A as a variable, okay? And there's some value. And I want to, because this is basically a currency, and it doesn't look good. So a currency has to have a separator so that it is easy to count, right? So I'm using this F string, and within this F string I'm using this placeholder. Because I'm using this F string, I have to supply a variable name, in this case A, and a colon. A colon is very essential, and then I'm supplying the type of separator which I want this to be separated as. So I'm using this comma, right? And so this, it gave us this output. But I need to ask you a question. Why why this output? Why not, instead of this, why not maybe 1 0 comma 0 0 comma 0 0 comma 0? So it is up to you guys to figure it out why and how this can be um, accomplished. This is my question for today, and the same applies, Gayatri, for this also. No, but Gayatri, if I suppose I, instead of using this hyphen, I'm underscore, sorry, I'm using this some other operator, suppose. So would it work? It worked, but it did not throw, it did not give us any error, but the output was this. So can you figure it out, guys? What happened actually? This is my question also. So please, for copying and pasting at the same time, you can press Alt Shift and down arrow key, Alt Shift and down arrow key, right? Now I'm using this ampersand operator. It it gave us an error called value error, unknown format code ampersand for object of type int. So it means that you are only able to supply some specific separators, right? I hope this makes sense, Gayatri, to you. And if you play around with this code and the question which I asked you, so I am very sure that you will be able to figure it out what happened actually and what is how it is happening internally. Any questions? So there is no question. I hope everybody understood it. So in the next session, I'll be the first thing we'll be conducting is a quiz, and I'll be preparing a questionnaire for you or all guys, and you have to uh, mm, answer all the questions, and based on your performance, we'll give you marks, obviously marks right now. And what else should I say? I hope that you enjoyed this session, and mm, it is not a matter that you enjoyed, you learned it or not. This is most important for us, that you learned it or not. Yeah, Gayatri, this was the question which I intended to ask everyone, and it is good that you asked. And I already asked that why only three zeros, right? Why only three zeros? Why not? So if anyone in this group can answer, that will be commendable. Or in the next session, Gayatri, if you are unable to figure it out, I'll tell you. But for now, I just need for all you guys to be to twist your brains, to apply your brains, search, uh, modify code, practice, and then you might figure it out what is happening internally, and you might also answer the question. Any more questions? Now you can see right now here it is separating by 3 digits, and here it is separating by 2 digits. So is it possible that if this one is an odd number, or the length is odd, or even okay, now this is time to end the session. Thank you for thank you all for joining, and I hope that you understood something in this session, and hope to meet you in the next session. Thank you guys. Thank you.